Hey, what's up, everybody? It's time for Sports and Shenanigans, where women's sports and pop culture collide. We are hanging out on the KC Sports Network, and we're powered by Cherry, a women-owned brand that wants to celebrate female athletes. I'm your host, Jillian Carol Latrinko, and today we're talking all things TST, or the soccer tournament, and I am so excited to be joined by the one and only Jenny Chiu. You may remember her from her time at North Carolina. She was a Tar Heel. She also represented Mexico on the women's national team on the youth side. And today she is covering the world of soccer. Jenny's all over the place. So if you're watching any type of soccer coverage, football coverage, chances are you recognize this face. Jenny, I'm so excited to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing today?
I am so good. It's extremely rainy in Miami, but Jillian, I'm excited to be partnering on this because we've been following each other for years, covering football as well. So great that this finally came together.
Yeah, it's funny. You just had an admiration for your work specifically in covering the game of soccer, obviously, but your career has been admirable. Just kind of climbing the ranks, and you're making such a name for yourself. So I'm pretty pumped to have you on. This time you're making a name for yourself because you're putting the boots back on, and you are actually brave enough to participate in the soccer tournament, or TST. So this is really cool. I say brave because it's been a little while since you played, I think. Um,
Absolutely. No, it is brave. That's the perfect word. I want to be called brave because not everyone has to do this or should do this. And I realize that through my training, right? Now that I'm training, I'm like, my body's not used to this at all anymore.
no, I'm sure you're going to be phenomenal. But I want to hear your take on it. And really, let's just start with the tournament itself. So the soccer tournament happening June 4th through the 9th in Cary, North Carolina. This is a very popular, known, almost like a soccer festival. It's been more heavy on the men's side, but last year we saw the women's side for the first year. And then this year we saw now 16 teams signed up to play. And what's exciting for me specifically is that NWSL teams are now sending teams into this tournament. So talk us through. The format is different. It really lends to be an exciting kind of, I feel like, offensively driven match. But share with us a little bit about what to expect for the match format.
Well, you said exciting for you to have the NWSL like B teams or lower teams with
Yeah.
tournament, but that's actually nerve-wracking for me. So exciting for you, but nerve-wracking for me because that means that they have time together, right? That means that these teams train together and they have reps together, and that's exactly what you need to win a tournament like this. I mean, it's so quick. But the format is incredibly different. Everyone that I've spoken to, every person I've listened to on the podcast or speak about the tournament says this is not soccer. This is not football as it normally is. This is a 7v7 tournament, and it is such quick substitutions are made that it's kind of like hockey in a way. So if you've never really experienced anything like this, obviously in normal soccer, you don't get to do substitutions like that. So this has been very interesting to witness and watch how everyone's preparing for it differently. My team is called Speedy Turtles. We're based out of Atlanta, and they play in a co-ed league. They're a women's team that plays in the co-ed league against like mostly men, and they're practicing their substitutions. So that's exactly like part of the game is understanding the rules because the rules are different. The format is different, like you mentioned there. And that's part of winning is understanding how to get around these rules and understand that it's not just soccer. You can't just come and be good at football and expect to win this.
Yeah, there's definitely some strategy, it sounds like. That's interesting. Now let's hear about the Speedy Turtles. I love the name, number one. How did it come to be that they recruited you, top-notch recruit coming in for year two of TST? How did that come about?
That is it's so weird. So actually the marketing arm of this team is two women who have followed me on social media for years, and they reached out and said, "Hey, we're starting this team. Are you interested? This is our idea." And it really wasn't anything football related. It was more so like marketing related in the sense that they wanted to have a branding behind the team, a logo, an initiative of like making sure it's community oriented and it's all women led, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, like all of it. And I thought that was so beautiful. Like, mind you, we're on this side of the game now, right, Julian? So we understand the importance of making sure that everything around the team itself matters and is taken care of. And they cared about all of it. Like they had photographers and videographers at our training camp, and they're making sure that we're being well fed. We have snacks and everything. I don't know. It's just like these nice little touches mean so much to me now, understanding how these were overlooked aspects of the game when you're a player, right? Like you don't really understand how much is going on behind the scenes that is necessary for the gameplay to be important. But now that I'm on this side, I understand and I respect it so much more. So the fact that they were planning on, hey, we want this to be a launch for these women. We want this to be a platform for all of these women. And then they told me about the team being Atlanta based and that they wanted to use the women that were already on the co-ed team and make sure that they had a platform to play in. And all of the reasons why they were in the tournament meant so much to me. And I was like, absolutely. Like, I love what you're doing. Let me just think about whether I'm ready to put myself in a position where I can fail, right? Like in front of everyone, because this is going to be seen by people. And I'm now making it obvious that I'm training. So then what if I show up and I'm horrible? And then it was, okay, what are the chances of that? Maybe not that high. And also, it's bigger than that, right? Like that's the whole point of our team, is that it's bigger than that. It's the fact that we're giving a community something, women's soccer, something that doesn't really exist. And I don't know. I'm here for it. And I understand the possibility of failure is always in the back of my head, but not really. The fact that I'm training for this and putting myself out there is a success in and of itself.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I love that you brought up the fear of failure. I think you don't get to where you were at an incredibly historically successful Division I program at North Carolina, and even with the Mexican national team, and to be honest, where you are in your professional career as well. You don't get to any of those things unless you are a competitor at your core. So I love that you're being transparent and saying like, yeah, I'm putting myself out here. You know, my training has been different, but I'm going to put my best foot forward. I think it's incredible. So it sounds like you've actually gotten some sessions in with your team then. Is that true?
Yes. So we have training camps. We've had a couple, and then this weekend we have another one. But most of the time they're training by themselves there. And then when the people from outside, which is I think only 3 players that don't live in Atlanta, they fly us in and we have a whole training camp and make sure that we're drilling in, you know, how we're playing, what the format is. And the coach has been amazing. She's Brazilian. Her name is Renata, and I have so much respect for her and everything she's bringing to the team. The owner has been so helpful. He's just like, I want to give a platform to women. It has been such a nice experience, because I feel like when we're players, I don't know, you don't get to feel all of this and like understand what's happening in the background as much. And now that I can see it all playing out, every single social post that goes out, every sponsor that we've gotten. I mean, we have so many amazing sponsors, but that's work, right? That's emailing. That's, hey, this is the team. This is what we're doing. And having people get behind it has just been so fun.
Yeah, I love that you bring up the work behind or off the pitch, because it lends to like, this is a serious tournament. This is a business for the owners. Example. Talk to us a little bit about the massive prize. It says $1 million purse for the winners take all. Is that what has brought you back? It sounds like obviously you also just want to grow the game, but I mean, that has to be enticing.
It is enticing. I think more so for certain teams, like they're like maybe going for the $1 million. I think our team is very much like, we're trying to prove something not only to ourselves, but to everyone else, that like you can be a no-name team. Like we've talked about it over and over again, is we don't have the big names. I'm the biggest name on our team. And Julian, if that says anything, is like, I'm not a big name in the soccer world as a player anymore, you know? So they've decided that that's exactly what we're going to go with. And it's by design. Like we got asked by so many people. My owner talked me through all of the DMs he got from these big name players that want to play. And they're like, that's not what we're doing. What we're trying to show is that you can be of a not name and show up on the biggest stage and kind of like become the community team. We kept on talking about, we want people to want to follow us because they don't have a team yet. It's not that they're Hope Solo fans or, you know, Heather O'Reilly fans or whatever it is. They're just supporting the team that has come together for this beautiful moment and see what comes of it. So I don't know. I just think that's absolutely beautiful.
I do too. And I think I've actually heard you say this before, but people want to see themselves in the teams that they love and support, right? And for myself, I've been out of the game longer than you, but I mean, this for me is like, oh my gosh, I would die. I would love to do that. You know what I mean? Like, to your point, I don't know if I could, my body would be up for it, but it's incredible for the, I don't know, the retired athletes to be able to watch someone like yourself, also retired, maybe a little fresher out of school, but what a cool opportunity. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Jenny, we're going to hear a little bit about some of the competition that you're anticipating facing at the TST. Guys, stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Shop Chiefs tickets and more with no fees. Plus, save big with code KCSN at ticketsforless.com, the official ticket provider of KC Sports Network.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's playoff time, and if you're still just watching games, then you're missing out. With Pick 6 from DraftKings, you can turn your hoops knowledge into real cash. Just make your picks, track your score, and if you hit all 6, you're looking at bigger payouts than Prize Picks flex plays. Nobody's dropping better payouts than Pick 6. Hit 6 picks, and that's 25 times your cash. And if you beat your competitor, you could be looking at a 500 times bag in your pocket. And right now, new customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry. The playoffs are on, so why not take a shot at making a little money while you're watching? Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to play $5 and get $50 in bonus picks. Better payouts, bigger wins, only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
What's up? Welcome back in. Sports and Shenanigans continues. We are so pleased to be joined by the one and only Jenny Chiu. We're not talking her broadcasting career right now. We're talking the fact that she's putting the boots back on and hitting the pitch in the TST. It's coming up June 4th through the 9th in Cary, North Carolina. And Jenny, we heard a little bit about how you got recruited. You're the biggest name on the Speedy Turtles, which I love. I think is incredible. But I want to hear a little bit about the competition. So last year, the champions was the USA team. Just talk us through a little bit about kind of who you're expecting to see, who you're excited to see. I'm sure fellow Tar Heel Heather O'Reilly comes to mind as one of them, right?
Absolutely. Heather O'Reilly is a huge one for us. She used to jump into our training sessions when I was a player. Mind you, she's many years retired at this point and beat all of us in fitness. So that just goes to show you that she's that girl. Like she's always fit, always sharp, always good. And so the fact that the potential possibility of playing against her if we meet up with the U.S. women's team is going to be absolutely amazing. She now, as part owner of Como FC, I ran into her at the Milan airport like 3 weeks ago while we're both traveling. So it's been absolutely hilarious. I hope I get to play against her. And then, of course, you have names like Carli Lloyd coming back. I mean, you have all of these legends in the U.S. women's team coming and playing, a lot of them on the U.S. women's team, which obviously won it. So there is nerves in potentially not going against them. The fact that they weren't in our group was absolutely a beautiful thing because hopefully that means we play them later on. Maybe in the championship match is the goal here. But yeah, the big names mean something, but also they're retired for a long time, just like I am. So we have a lot of young guns on our team that are very fit and very ready to play up against these legends. And I love talking about it. Everyone's so excited because not only us as Americans, but we have some Brazilian players on our team, and they all look up to these players that have kind of like broke ground for women's footballers. So just the opportunity to be on the same pitch as them is also beautiful.
I love that. And I also just love a little friendly competition. Never hurt anybody. So, bring it back, of course. So Angel City FC, Kansas City Current, and North Carolina Courage, obviously all from NWSL, entering teams. We think it's going to be like their second tier team, obviously. But what do you think that kind of does for this tournament as far as, NWSL being the biggest league in the United States for women's soccer, joining in and participating in TST? Does this bring a bigger spotlight?
I think it's beautiful. I think it's great. The more competition, the better. The ability to provide a spotlight for NWSL is also there because TST is being seen everywhere. You have teams on the men's side that are coming from all over the world. They've entered their team in, so there's going to be broadcasts everywhere. I think it's beautiful. And also when you think about the prize money, which you asked about earlier, Jillian, the amount of prize money that these women are up to potentially win for their teams is bigger than an NWSL championship money aspect. So when you think about that, you have to think, hey, more of these teams should be putting themselves in there. Me, as the outsider that doesn't want the competition to be that, please don't bring them yet. Let's do this slowly. Let's continue to build slowly as opposed to making this a professional tournament, because the amateurism of it, I think, is what is so beautiful, right? You have players on the men's side like JJ Watts playing in the tournament. That can't happen if we have actual pro current players happening, right? And then you have Nani coming back from I was a sideline reporter of Orlando City in, who knows, 2018 to 2020, 21, whatever. He was on the team then, and he was at the end of his career. And now here we are, 7, 8 years later, and he's playing in the tournament again. He put his team in last year, almost won it this time again. So having those big names makes it the more international aspect, but so beautiful to have all of these teams on the NWSL joining.
Yeah, and I love, again, just bringing back these teams are taking us very seriously. And then there are some teams that are genuinely having some fun with this. So tell me a little bit about maybe some of the lore that is growing with TST, maybe some of the personalities of the team that we saw. I mean, let's face it, anybody who's retired, been out of a game, and then jumps back in, like, sure, I'm worried about leaving a hamstring on the pitch. Like, yes, I'm worried about all those things, but it sounds like some of the teams are having a little bit of fun with it.
Absolutely. You think about Pat McAfee's team that was in it last year. That was so much fun. And that gave like the potential for virality in a way that wouldn't happen otherwise, right? We had Michela Grella, one of my coworkers at CBS Sports at the time, playing in it. He gives the cross that Pat McAfee puts in, and that goes viral in a way that I guess a broadcast couldn't go viral, like you wouldn't have seen it in this social media era that we're in, right? And so I'm hoping for a moment like that, to be honest with you. Hopefully I get a goal on Hope Solo in the first game and that goes viral and they're like, who is this girl who hasn't played in, I don't know, 8 years, all of a sudden scoring on the legend that is Hope Solo? Who knows? So I just think it's so beautiful that football is coming to the forefront in different ways. And this is a way to kind of grow football in America. The reality is that's where we are right now in America. You don't have something like this that is moving the growth of the game forward. You have the legends stuff that's happening, I think Kings League and all of these things happening, but it's different in other countries. This for America is very special because you're getting the audience, like the Pat McAfee show, all of a sudden talking about this TST tournament has eyeballs on football all of a sudden. Soccer all of a sudden. So I just think that this is a great opportunity for us. Pre-World Cup year as well. This is probably the only time I can ever play in it. And I want this to be the one that we let it rip.
I'm thrilled, and I can't wait for that viral clip of a Jenny Chu goal on Hope Solo to advance and then maybe beat the U.S. women in the game.
There we go. Distance, please.
Yeah, no, I love that. You know what? It reminds me of, and it's a little bit different, but Unrivaled with WNBA players. It is a faster game. It is a smaller court. It is a less people on the court. And it's just engaging the fans more. And you alluded to it a little bit. The world of soccer in the United States is still in an infancy, right? We are still trying to grow. I really do think this has potential to bring in a casual fan and maybe let them grow their fandom and then say, oh gosh, maybe I do need to attend NWSL or what have you. But as you said, in prep for the World Cup, that's huge. How are you training? How is it going? How are you feeling?
I am jumping into every pickup game I can. Every time there's a group message, I'm like, hi, can I join? Can I join? Can I join? I had my fiance plays, so he's personal training me. My little brother is a coach, so I'm heading to San Francisco to meet my baby nephew for the first time next week. And we have training sessions planned out for every day. So he's taken on coaching for that week. Really anything I can do. Every time there's like players around, we're like trying to meet up to train. And I'm thinking, what can I mean, I started a whole series on it. It's like episode of like trying to prepare for this. And I'm kind of lacking on the content in terms of editing and stuff, but I promise the training is there. And we're in a different moment. You know this more than anyone, right? Like the content matters and it brings people along for the ride. And I just want people to kind of see it's not easy. I'm not just showing up on the day to play and smile at the cameras. Like I'm genuinely trying to prepare for this, getting my hard trainings in. I get sick for over a day after. Like my body's like I mean, Miami Heat, add that, right? My body is like shock. And once that happens to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to prepare better, right? Like that means my food and my fueling beforehand has to be better. So I'm like trialing how I have to take on when we have an actual game, because come an actual game, it's going to be completely different. So these parts of the thought process haven't entered my mind in a decade. So like this is just wild.
It's going to be like riding a bike, Jenny. You're going to pop back on that pitch and you're going to wow them. I'm cheering you on. I am now the #1 fan of the Speedy Turtles. So thank you for that. I was looking for a team. But I just think it's so cool. And I just think you represent so much. I think you represent maybe women, generations of women that we didn't have NWSL to play. It wasn't an option just yet. And we weren't, national team level. So I love it. I see me and you, and I'm thrilled for you, and I'm grateful that you're playing and putting yourself out there. And yeah, we're just waiting on that viral clip. So don't let it down.
As long as you post it, if it happens, you're gonna see it out there if it happens. Okay. Fingers crossed.
Girl, I got you. All right, guys. This has been Jenny Chiu, obviously now CBS reporter, anchor, covering all things soccer. If you're not following her on social, you're really missing out. So find her on all the socials, Jenny Chiu. Can't thank you enough for taking some time to join the show today and shed some light on the TST. Again, tickets are available, guys. If you happen to be around Cary, North Carolina, June 4th through the 9th, check it out. You can visit their website, the soccer tournament. Jenny Chiu, we appreciate you, and we are cheering you on.
I love what you're doing. Sports and shenanigans. Love it.
Thanks, girl. Take care. This has been Sports and Shenanigans for today. Check us out. We've got more coming at you on Friday.